Sup guys, how's it going? And welcome to another Gamertech review. Now in this review, we're looking at a power bank or external battery for your mobile devices. Now these things are essentially just an extra battery which you carry around with you, which you can plug your own devices into. So it's really handy if you're going away for a weekend, or you have a device that uses a lot of power up quickly, or if you really like to use your devices all the time. So there's loads of different uses that these kind of guys can be used for. Now the one I'm looking at today is 6000 mAh. That's the amount of power you get in the device. It's made by Sumvision, and here it is. Now the cool thing about this is that it's got a cable built into it, which I think is really handy. I'm going to show you it now as well. I'm going to talk about it later on in the review, but it's such a cool feature, I just want to kind of talk about it now as well. This side bit of rubber here, you can pull the bottom section out and you can see you've got your USB port there, but the top bit comes out as well, and then you've got your micro USB cable along with your regular USB cable. Now this thing charges up through micro USB, so if you are at home or away with a wall plug charger or something like that, all you need to do is take this cable out, plug it into the charge port on the bottom, and then plug that USB into, well, a USB port, and it will charge up the device. Now how handy is that? Especially if you're using a phone that has a micro USB port, because all you need to do is carry around this device on its own, and no cables, nothing else. You don't have to worry about anything else at all, because it's all in one unit. How handy is that? So yeah, that little cool feature out of the way, let's just get straight into looking at the packaging. Now this external battery uses a fully plastic packaging system, and it's quite nice because we can see straight through it and actually look at the battery itself. One of the main things you can see on this, it says its max output is 3 amps. Now for external batteries that is quite high, so I'm expecting this should charge our devices quite quickly, as usually external batteries run about 2.1 or 2.4 amps. It also does mention that built-in USB connector, which I talked about earlier, and on the back it's just got a few more details about the battery type, the input-output voltages and amperages, and also how many USB ports it has, which is 2. So that's the packaging out of the way. Let's just get straight into unboxing it. So as we said earlier, this external battery has a max output of 3 amps, which is quite a lot compared to a lot of the other external batteries out there. I really am expecting this thing to charge my phone and my iPad quite quickly, but we'll just have to see when we get to testing it. One thing I've noticed already is that there's no extra cables included with the device, and that is definitely going to be because of the built-in USB cable that's already there. I mean, why would you need any other cables if you've already got a cable attached? On the bottom of the device we can see the USB port which you can plug your device in to charge from, and also we have the micro USB port which you plug this in to charge the device up itself. But also where the cable actually attaches to, there is another USB port there, so if you wanted to charge up 2 devices at one time, then you would be able to do so. Now on the front of it there is a little power sign, and if you press it, little LEDs light up to let you know how much power is left in the battery. If you move the rubber band up, you can see there is just 4 LEDs underneath that kind of shine through it, so it's a nice little easy design there, and a nice quick way to let you know how much power is left in the unit. And if we take a closer look at this cable, we see when we take it off there's that USB port there, and at the top there isn't actually another USB port. It's just a nice little cubby hole to keep the micro USB end safe so it doesn't get bashed around if you do drop it or something like that. So it's a nice way to keep everything nice and safe. And with that unboxing done, it's time for me to test it, so I shall see you in the conclusion. All in all, I must say that I was very impressed and happy with the way that this device handled. Now this is a 6000 mAh battery in here, and I have reviewed a power bank before which I believe had a 10,000 mAh battery, so I kind of had a vague idea of how many charges I'll be getting out of this thing. Now in total I've got 3.5 charges out of this. Now that's going to be good enough to last you 3 to 4 days worth of iPhone battery. That is with regular use as well. Now one thing to remember with these is that they don't automatically cut off if your battery gets full. So say you've gone down to 20% on your battery and you want to charge it up overnight, if you use your power bank and don't turn it off, it'll be constantly trying to pump juice into your phone. Now it's not a bad thing for the phone, because I think the phone can kind of handle it and kind of dissipate that electricity stuff somewhere else. However, for the external battery, it just means that it's going to be keep running, and you're going to be losing power when you don't need to. So you need to try to plug it in before you go to bed, like an hour or so before you go to bed, because that way you can then take it off and it will be fine. So you can leave your phone on overnight, don't leave it plugged into this, otherwise you're just going to be wasting charge and it's going to be taking up your usage time. Now in regards to charge time, I was charging my phone up between 5% and empty, and every time it took roughly 2 hours to charge up, and that isn't too bad, especially from an external battery. And I think the reason for that is the 3 amp output that this thing has. Like I've said before, with external batteries I'm used to more 2.1 or 2.4 amps, but the fact that this is 3 amps, it means that it will charge your devices up quickly. There was one little bad thing that I didn't really like about the unit though, and that was how accurate it was at letting me know how many charges or how much power I had left in it. When I was testing this, I was keeping an eye on the LEDs to kind of work out how many charges I get per LED. So kind of similar to an iPhone battery, which tells you it's got 20% left and all of a sudden will turn off because it's got no battery. With this, I managed to get to about 3 charges worth, and it said it had 2 LEDs of battery left. However, it then got halfway through a charge and then died on me. So the thing to remember with this is you get roughly 3.5 charges out of it. Don't go by what the LEDs are telling you. 3.5 is the magic number. But all in all, I like this device. I'm gonna give it a big thumbs up because I think it did very well. It charged my devices quickly. It's got a nice sleek design. It's not thick. Here's it in relation to my iPhone, which actually has a battery case on it at the minute. So if you look at that, they're exactly the same height. If I put it there, they're exactly the same thickness, and the battery itself is only just a little bit wider. So with a battery case on the iPhone, which just adds probably about 10mm to the bottom and about, I don't know, 3mm onto the back, 4mm onto the back, something like that, then that's how big this is. So the fact it's such a handy size means you can slip it into your bag, in your purse, in your satchel, wherever you want to put it to have that extra power. And if you have got an Android device or a device which uses a micro USB cable, you don't have to worry about having another cable with you because it's got it built in. I myself have a little iPhone cable on my keyring for my keys, so again, I don't have to worry about anything like that at all because I've already got a cable right there with me wherever I go. In regards to price, this thing will only cost you £16 at the minute on Amazon and 14p, something like that. But for that price, you cannot fault this at all. Like, you get your money's worth and more. Like, I'd happily pay £25 for this kind of device, just because if you're going away for an event for a weekend or you're going on holiday, this is it. This is all you need, and that will keep you going. So yeah, £16, that's an absolute steal. Can't recommend it enough. Links below if you want to check it out. And that's going to be the review. So thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been informative, and you know, you've checked out this power bank and you've gone, oh yeah, that looks quite good actually, because it is 16 quid, man. I mean, come on, that's epic. So thanks again for watching, and if I don't see you here, I'll see you over on Twitch. Link is below. I stream stuff like Counter-Strike and things, and it's awesome. So yeah, I'll see you there or on YouTube next. Catch you later, guys. Stay fresh.